Hello everybody and welcome back to Be Joy in the Kitchen. I am Be Joy and this is my kitchen. So along the Thanksgiving mode that we've been following, the trend, because it's not yet Thanksgiving, so I'm giving you plenty of time to try out your recipes or just wing it when you get there. No Thanksgiving is complete without dessert. And there's all sorts of desserts you can have for Thanksgiving. The one I've chosen today are one of my favorites, which is pecan pie. And it's a super simple pecan pie. It has very few ingredients, no corn syrup, or there's no eggs. It's completely plant-based. And so I'm just going to, run you through it here, and let's get started. So we're going to start out with about 3/4 of a cup of medjool dates. Now, if you're not familiar with medjool dates, first of all, you're going to need your food processor. I should say that. If you don't have a food processor, I don't know, maybe a blender will work. I haven't tried it that way. So the medjool dates look like this. They're nice and fat and soft. And what you want to do is make sure that you have removed the pits. There's a pit in the middle of most of them, just like this. Although, if you grind them up, really at the end of the day, it's not going to kill you, because I ground them up in a shake one time in error, and I'm looking all over the, Dr. Google, oh my God, am I going to die because I drank a shake and it had the, and it turns out that it's okay. But I don't recommend it for your pecan pie, or really for anything. Okay, so we're going to start out, we're going to put in this 3/4, and what I did was I cut them up. I didn't leave them whole. I took their pits out, and I'm going to kind of spread them out in here because we want them to get all mashed up. They're pretty soft to begin with. And to that, I'm going to add half a cup of pecans, 2 tablespoons of flaxseed ground. Now, this is going to replace the eggs. Okay. And then the sweetener we're going to use here is maple syrup. And I have a dark maple syrup because I like the way that's going to look. And it, dark, light, whatever you have around. But here we go. That's 3/4 of a cup of that. Can you get any simpler? Oh, and then I'm going to throw in just a tad on the sea salt. Seems that these days, salt used to be the enemy. I know I've talked about that recently. And that now, there's so many fancy salts out there. And my favorite one right now is the one that the desert provisions that I get at my favorite neighbor market down here in Phoenix. Anyways, any sea salt will do. And it seems like everything wants sea salt these days. You bake a chocolate cake and they want sea salt. So go figure. That's not what my mom's recipe calls for, however. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the food processor. You can't even see me anymore, can you? Here I am. I'm still here, I promise. I just didn't want you to have to... And I'm going to pulse it a couple of times first. It's kind of loud because it's squishing up all that stuff. And you want it to come out smooth. We're almost there. A little longer. But while we're doing that, I'm going to take my pie crust, and I'm going to wait. It's too loud. Talk amongst yourselves, because, Oh yeah, we're looking pretty good here. You're supposed to get like a smoothish batter. I'm going to go ahead and, first of all, I'm going to tell you before that. Let me just put it back on. Just a little longer. Okay, thank you for your patience. Appreciate it. But what we're going to do is I have a gluten-free pie crust here from Wholesome. I think that's the name of the company. I really like this. It's a gluten-free pie pie crust. You can make your own pie crust. You can use whatever pie crust you would normally use for a pie that you're going to bake. Anyway, 9-inch. And so what we're going to do is take 3/4 of a cup of pecans and run them around the bottom here. Not so loud now that it's almost done. We're going to put those on the bottom and flatten them out so that and they fit so nicely. These are chopped pecans, by the way, not whole pecans. You can buy them chopped, and I know I always find them to be more economically friendly when I buy the chopped pieces. So that would be what you want to do. Ah, there we go. Oh, yeah. Oof, just looks like cake batter to me. Okay, so I'm going to pull this guy out. And what we're going to do is pour this over the pecans that are on the bottom shelf there. And you want to be careful not to move them too much around. Okay. And I buy my pecans raw. Some people might want to buy them roasted, but they're going to roast up pretty well in the oven. So I would stick with raw, personally. Okay, and we're going to put this on here. So simple and so delicious and so few ingredients. You know, it doesn't take much time to put this whole thing together. Oh, by the way, while I was waiting for you, I turned my oven on to 350 and it's warming up there. I'm almost tempted to taste this now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wait because I know it tastes really good. Medjool dates are a great source of sweetener. And the medjool in particular, because they're pretty soft, and you can pretty much get them to a nice consistency, whereas some of the other kinds of dates can be a little bit more dried. Wow, this is so nice. Uh-oh, I might have to leave some in here, and then who's going to clean it? Oh, Arlene. She'll clean it, and she'll be licking the batter. Now, when you're a kid, you always had to lick the batter, right? That's what we do in this house. Okay. Let's see, just about here. This is looking good. Oh yeah, this is a nice, it's nice and thick, and then you want to smooth it out so that it's pretty even around. And you got to be kind of delicate so all the pecans on the bottom don't start dancing. Because otherwise you'll have an uneven pecan pie, and who eats an uneven pecan pie? All right, here we are. Woo, nice, nice, nice. I'm not going to use my fingers. Oops. Although I am tempted to, but I'm going to take another spatula here. Just make sure that I get every bit of it in there. So nice and smooth. Yeah. Okay, we're almost ready to roll. The last piece is that we're going to sprinkle it with more pecan pieces on top. So we're talking, you know, a very pecan-rich pie here. Go ahead and put these away. You know what? I did just taste what was on my finger. Oh my God, it's so nice and rich. Okay, so I've got these other 1/4 cup of pecans that I'm just going to sprinkle on the top. Very gently. So that we don't want it to fall into the middle. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, here we go. These are just on the top so that you know it's a pecan pie. All right. I'm gonna get this off of here. Okay. There we go. You see? Looks like pecan pie to me, you guys. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven. And one of the tricks I'm using that I learned a whole long time ago when I was first in the food business, way back in the dark ages, I used to sell Mrs. Smith's pies, if you can believe that. But I did. And one of the tricks I learned from Mrs. Smith's pies was you put your sheet pan in the oven. And when you put your pie on to transfer it to the oven, you're going to put it on a hot pan. And that way you get a nice crust on the bottom. And there we have that. Tricks of the trade. And so it's on at 350. I'm going to put 45 minutes on the clock, and then we'll take a look and see what we've got. Well, that 40 minutes went lickety-split, and we have pecan pie. Now, I'd cut a slice off here for you, but I'm not going to because we have to let it rest for a couple of hours. See if I can get this any closer. Whoa, nope, that would have been a disaster. That's what it looks like. It's really pretty. Might be able to do it like this, but I don't know if I want to take any chances. You got the idea, don't you? That's as close as you're going to get to this pecan pie. And the crust came out really nice and flaky, it looks like. Man, that is delicious. Well, I don't know yet, because I know it's been delicious. I don't know about this one. So anyways, go out there and be joy in your own kitchen. And if you like what you see, you had fun with me this afternoon, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, make a comment. If you want the recipe, DM me. And until next time, enjoy the yum.